What's happening, tabletop gamers? My name is LeunameGames. Welcome back to LeunameGames Unboxes. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition by Fryxelius, Nick Little, and Sydney Engelstein, and published by FryxGames and Stronghold Games. Let's have a look at the back here and see what this is about. In this time of unprecedented prosperity and advancement for humankind, we are finally able to expand beyond once was considered our limits and make a new home among the stars. Ares Expedition is a card game where you take control of an interplanetary corporation with the mission to make Mars habitable and profitable. Featuring simultaneous action selection and simultaneous resolution, Ares Expedition is a fast-playing strategy game inspired by scientific principles. Will you lead humanity to a new era? I noticed immediately on the top of the box it says the Terraforming Mars card game, so this is supposed to be a card game version of another game called Terraforming Mars, which I have not played, but I've heard is very good. So I'm really curious to see what all is here. So, with all that said, let's have a look and see what does Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition have to offer us. The game comes with an interestingly shaped board that has little extensions and indents along the edges, as well as an obvious score track for the players. There's also two tracks in the middle here. One looks to be keeping track of air, and the other one, based on this little symbol here, I'm assuming is to keep track of the temperature of the main planet. There's also some hexes in the middle of the planet, which I'm assuming is where you're going to be placing tiles. Speaking of tiles, there are two different types of tiles that come with the game. There is these ocean tiles and these forest tiles. The forest tiles come in denominations of 5 and 1, and they're also different sizes, which is nice, so you'll be able to tell which one is which if you are having trouble seeing color. Interestingly enough, though, is that the forest tiles don't seem to actually be able to fit on the board. At least I'm assuming it won't, since they're smaller than the hexes on the board. The ocean tiles, those are water tiles I guess, are able to fit those. So something tells me that these forests are not actually meant to go on this main board, but the ocean tiles are. Interestingly also is that the ocean tiles are double-sided, showing a dry side on one side and an ocean side on another. There's also a series of symbols on the various ocean tiles, as you can see, representing different types of benefits that I'm assuming will give to the players. Whether it's, I'm assuming that's gold, allowing you to draw cards, maybe another resource of some kind, but that's just a guess on my part. I will say though, it is very easy to tell the various symbols apart, so you should have a pretty good time seeing that. In addition to that, there is also a player board that is given to each of the players that are playing the game, and these are actually very nicely well designed, I must say. Very easy to tell tracks from each other. The symbology for the different types of tracks are very nice. At the top here it looks like a little summary of the different phases that will be played out. There's also little keys down here along with above and below each of the various tracks that kind of gives you a little bit of a description of the various things that you can do with the various resources that you have. I can say also is that it is very nice to read these so that you shouldn't have any issues with being able to tell what these are if you have trouble seeing. There are these 5 phase tracking tokens that come with the game, and these are just that. They are meant to help you keep track of what phase that you are in, with the name of the phase and the number listed on the front, and then the number X'd out or crossed out listed on the back. I also just noticed that each of these actually fit very well into this little side of the board here, so I'm assuming that that's where these are all going to go, where you are basically going to have these just sitting in the side here and help you keep track of which phase that you are in. There's also sets of what is known as action cards that come with the game, and there is a set of 5 of these cards for each player. You'll be able to tell them apart because they have a different colored back on each one, and these are related to the various phases that you'll be playing through: the development, the construction, the action, the production, and the research. And it looks like each of these has an ability that everybody will have an access to, but they have a bonus that will come to you if you were the one who played that action card. And I can say with confidence that these cards are very nicely done, very easy to read, so you shouldn't have any issues with that. There are 3 types of resources that come with the game: copper, silver, and gold, and I'm assuming this is what you are fighting for in the course of the game. And these are not only denoted by their colors, but they're also different sizes, so that if you are colorblind, you should be able to tell which resource is which. There's also 2 clear cubes that come with the game, and these are actually meant to track the, I'm assuming, the air level on the main board, as well as the temperature that is also on the main board. There's also a set of player color cubes meant to be used with the player's boards. There are 4 reference cards that come with the game, 1 for each player, and each of these has a double side, one side showing the steps that will take place over the course of the round, one of which is the resolve phases step, and then on the other side is basically a summary of the phases that you will go through during the resolve phases step. And I gotta say with confidence that these are very well designed. I can very easily read these texts, so that if you are having some issues with sight, you should still not have a problem with reading these, as these are clearly defined. There are 12 of what's known as corporation cards that come with the game, and I'm assuming that each player is going to be given one of these at the start of the game to basically represent who they are. Each of these, what looks like, has a certain amount of gold that they will start with. It has a special ability that each player will be able to use at certain points in the game, as well as a starting benefit that they will have at the start of the game, and a special symbol that they will have access to. And I'm assuming that these will actually be used to help you with the next portion that I'll be showing later in a bit. I also really like that they went with a little logo for every single one of these corporation cards. I think that is a very, very nice touch, as well as the cards are also very easy to read with some easy symbology to read. Finally, there are what's known as project cards, and there are a whole bunch of these, way more than I'm actually showing right now and what I'll be showing in this video. And these are basically what you are trying to obtain, I'm assuming, or trying to build rather, throughout the course of the game. Each of these has obviously a title, a cost in order to build them, which is gold, and I'm assuming in these symbols here that you'll also need to obtain in order to build these. I could be wrong on that, but that's what it seems like. They also have a special ability that will happen when you build these that you can use later on in the game, as well as a certain benefit that you can do in certain phases of the game as well. And I will say these cards themselves are very easy to read. I can tell what these are very well, although the symbology on the sides here does leave me with some questions on how these would actually work, but I'm assuming once we read the rule book and once we understand the rules that the symbology will be a lot more clear. Actually, I should also mention, in addition to the normal rule book, there is also a quick start guide to help you get started with the game quicker, with a quick summary of the setup and the things that you can do throughout the game. So that is everything you will get if you obtain Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to learn how to play Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, or if you want to know my thoughts on it, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more tutorials, reviews, and unboxings. Thank you all as always so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.